is actually going to be the Cascade Duck Crew versus Knights of the Roundy Table.
I love both those names. Like, please tell me that those are actual team names and not like pickup names. 'Cause if they are pickup names, then some of the best pickup names I've ever seen in a while. But I'm really hoping those are like actual team names, because that would be just so much fun to have teams running around the community named Cascade Duck Crew and Knights of the Roundy Table.
You know, I had a feeling that Roundy was on Knights of the Roundy Table, and we are right. Here we can see the roster. So yeah, I agree. I like both of these teams too. But I believe the Knights of the Roundy Table, I believe that's a pickup. I'm not as familiar with Cascade Duck Crew, but very looking forward to seeing what they can do during this set.
Yeah, for sure. Not really familiar with anybody on these teams, aside from, of course, the aforementioned Roundy. I want to say Bishop might have played backline at one point in time. I know there was a Bishop that played backline weapons, but I'm not sure if it's this one.
So, taking a look, and it looks like both of these teams won their first set. Cascade Duck Crew got the win over Joy-Con Drifters, and Knights of the Roundy Table getting a win over Midnight Salamanders. I don't know why I struggled with that word.
Well,
I was thinking of salmon, I think.
Of course, this group, whatever group that they're in, has the best team names of the entire tournament.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's that's pretty good coming since this is only the second set that we've seen, and we've only seen the names of 4 teams. But I think the contenders are there. I think you're right.
Looks like the chat is putting most of the money on Knights of the Roundy Table with 11,000 plus points versus 3,700 points. But of course, that's just what people think will win. Last time we saw SuperJump getting most of the points bet on them.
And we're going to be starting off with a Black Belly Rainmaker. Once again, this is the Rainmaker stage that we see all the time. So, of course, this is a field day if you're C-Jet, if you're any Ray weapon. And, yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Rainmaker yet, so that's why it's probably the first game of set number 2. But, yeah, I mean...
This is such a fun map to watch from a commentator's perspective and from an audience perspective. Playing on it usually reminds me of doing algebra. Pain and suffering. It is so fast. No push is safe. You can get it to 1 point, and it is still wholly feasible, and oftentimes flips and the other team gets a knockout. It's not like other maps where you get it to 1 point and it's like it's just good as a knockout. It might as well be a knockout. But as you mentioned, C-Jets are going to have fun here. V-Jets too, to a certain extent. Sloshers and ledge can be weapons like rollers and blasters. But of course, you also have your K-Shot, your NZAP, your Junior, which are going to be good wherever you go. I kind of want to see some funky comps, though. Funky comps are the most fun to watch. The off-meta picks, see what people react to, and how they do. You get so used to playing against the meta that when somebody really good pulls out a roller and you have no idea what to do against them.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. When you have an off-meta pick, the players, they have a hard time figuring out how to counter it, because a lot of these players, you know, they've figured out how to counter Zaps, K-52, any missile weapon too. So when you have those choices that are a little more unconventional, it makes it harder to figure out, okay, how can we play around this? How are they going to thrive? What can we do to prevent their push? And like a stage like this, you were mentioning, this one, you can get very, very far on maybe a soft wipe, and no lead is safe on Black Belly Rainmaker, so these teams will have to be on edge against each other.
Yeah, for sure. Now, that being said, there is a limit to off-meta. Please do not pull out custom E-Leader's 4K scope on Rainmaker.
Well, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't, but...
I mean, there is nothing in the rules that says you can't, but please don't. I might cry a little bit if you do.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's especially with a heavy armor meta that we've seen. I'm glad we did see an E-Leader in the previous set, but you're right, some just a little more unconventional than others. But hey, let's get started with our second set, Cascade Duck Crew versus Knights of the Roundy Table.
Yep, and we see Sir Roundy coming in with the Junior. We do see a group range on Sir Roundy's team as well, run by Bishop. Archer is going to be on the K-Shot, and then Fido is, of course, going to be on the C-Jet. Meanwhile, on the side of Cascade Duck Crew, we see the classic NZ K-Shot pairing with a Squeezer and a Nautilus. So, pretty fun comps from both teams, and it's a fight for mid right now. Two specials on the side of Cascade Duck Crew being launched. Armor coming out from both teams, missiles coming out. We do see that the C-Jet is the first to fall in this fight, so not a good start for the Roundy's team. 3 down, looks like a double with some missiles there, and Roundy's the only one left alive.
Yeah, Roundy's really going to have to back up, get in a good position. And, I mean, this Rainmaker is going to be set up pretty well. They're just going to have to avoid some of these bombs, take it around this left side by the plateau, and 2 players are going to go down. So this could get very ugly very quickly, but no, they are going to go down, getting to 24. But I would say Cascade Duck Crew still in a good position as they are able to pick up the Rainmaker, push it just a little further. So, Knights of the Roundy Table, they're going to need to try and spot some of these Cascade Duck Crew members, get the Rainmaker back center to get some map control, and they really need to put Bishop in a very good position like where they are right now, just hiding behind these ledges going right under them, so they can get these amazing picks. And now the Rainmaker is going to reset, and 2 players are going to go down for Cascade Duck Crew.
Yeah, we talk about amazing picks. Bishop getting one behind the wall with the blaster. The joys of having area of effect. And it looks like members of Cascade Duck Crew are jumping out. One is fighting Bishop over on the left-hand side with armor. It's around, he's got the Rainmaker, but you see 2 members of Cascade Duck Crew are pushing them back. Missiles coming out. Watch out for that bomb, people. 1 down on the side of Roundy, and we've got 2 specials online for Duck Crew. Egret is in a bit of a tough spot, though. Being forced forward with that bomb right into the enemy team.
Yeah, and now Roundy's finally going to go down, and it's just going to be the Blaster, who is now spotted. Going to have to retreat just a little bit, but they're going to be trying to push up. They are going to get that pick. So this is looking very good for Cascade Duck Crew as they have control of mid. The Rainmaker is in a good spot for them as well. I don't believe they've popped it yet, but it's... maybe they have? No, they have not. So they just want to kind of leave that contested. I mean, it's still relatively early on in the game. We're not even halfway through. But if they can control mid and kind of just watch where these Knight players are, it's going to be easier. But Archer and Roundy trying to get closer to this Rainmaker. Archer and Roundy going to be popping it now to at least get it centered. I don't know if they want to pick it up quite yet, but they are going to get some more map control and now push forward, and they do have a player advantage. So this could turn things around.
Yeah, it looks like with that player advantage, they did choose to pick up the Rainmaker. Archer coming in, manages to get one. Missiles coming out now, so this could be a very big push. You can see that Roundy is trying to push up further. And here comes the lead with a 4 down on the side of Cascade Duck Crew. So it's going to be a quick pop. Names is going to see if they can get it. And it manages to delay them just enough. So this could be very, very key for making sure that Sir Roundy does not manage to pick up that Rainmaker. And he does not. He jumps in and he dies. Looks like the last members of the Roundy table have jumped out. So that's going to let Cascade Duck Crew get mid. They're going to let the Rainmaker reset, which is smart with how close it was to their goal.
And how the Roundy table has turned. I'm very sorry about that pun, by the way. But they are able to get the lead based off of that push. I thought that was going to be a knockout, but with the help of a knot, they really prevented that knockout. So Rainmaker's going to be back at mid just for a moment now, and Cascade Duck Crew trying to figure out and make something of their own with just about a minute left. But they need to get in a very good position. They need to get these picks. Ideally, they want to get that wipe when they pick up the Rainmaker. But they're going to have to retreat just a little bit more as Knights of the Roundy Table have started to push up. But Cascade Duck Crew popping the Rainmaker, and I believe they're trying to find a good opportunity to pick it up. But having these players go down is definitely not helping them.
Yeah, you can see that Knights of the Roundy Table, their side of the map is very, very green. Bishop does not manage to get the trade with the Junior, and Nate is going to get one with that Inkjet. Another one jumps out. We can see that Roundy is all the way back in their jigsaw area, so this is going to be giving Cascade Duck Crew mid. Fuji is going to push up with that speeder, manages to get one, coming in with the bubble, see if they can get that insta-pop, not able to find it. 2 down on the side of Cascade Duck Crew, but Archer coming in, manages to get the stage, survives the Rainmaker pop, not able to get the pick though. So 2 down on each side of the field. There are 14 seconds remaining. Koji is going to get at 1 down, 2 down on the side of of Roundy's team. Meanwhile, on the side of Cascade Duck Crew, Egret is going to pick up the Rainmaker. The DV Stingray is coming in. Bombs are coming out. 3 down on the side. Make that a full wipe to end the game. Knights of the Roundy table coming in and doing a little bit of duck hunting there at the end.
You know, even if the Ray doesn't get the picks, it at least forces the enemy team to move. And that allows your teammates to push forward and try and predict which direction that they're going to go. So I don't think the Ray actually got anybody, but it was the support of all of the other players who got all 3 of those picks at the end. But yeah, that was a very strong performance by Roundy Table.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But with how strong Cascade Duck Crew was at the beginning, I don't think that Knights of the Roundy Table can say that they're not all quacked up that they were meant to be.
Certainly. And again, that was a very fast-paced map and mode that we saw. Let's go to something a little bit different. We're going to have Clam Blitz on Sturgeon Shipyard. So, I mean, the frustrating thing about this stage is sometimes you can't really tell where an enemy is throwing clams if you're not prepared on defense, and that honestly could be said about any stage, but especially if they have that height advantage and just keep throwing clams from up top, it can be really hard to defend. So I think if the knot returns kind of having that range, maybe the squeezer, we mentioned that I think Cascade Duck Crew, they had a very traditional comp, so that seems like a comp that could also thrive in this map mode.
Oh yeah, that comp that Cascade Duck Crew was running, that can work on probably 95% of map and mode. Especially this one with all the different height elevations, having that inkjet from the knot will definitely help them clear off enemy grates. Meanwhile, on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table, I personally like seeing the Grim Range from Bishop. I think if it just had a little bit more paint, it would definitely thrive.
Yeah.
We'll see if they stick with it, though.
Yeah, I mean, we can see that Cascade Duck Crew's taken more time choosing their weapons. Knights of the Roundy Table, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But yeah, these teams, let's see what they chose, because I'm curious. We will likely see some changes, even though we mentioned that, hey, this comp works in 95% of the maps and modes. But let's take a look. So we see the ballpoint coming out from Knights, and we do see the Neo. I believe the Neo Splash is new along with the Junior.
Yeah, the Junior swapped over from the end up. The Neo Splash is in the hands of the member that is holding the Nautilus. Pick up this thing on that Grim Range, and he has plenty of paint now thanks to the Ballpoint Junior Tricore that they're running. That's a lot of paint. You've got rain, double armor, and missile. 3 down very, very quickly on the side of Cascade Duck Crew. And members of Knights of the Roundy Table are jumping in very quickly. They've already got 20 clams, so if they can build a ball here, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do over on the right-hand side, they are going to have a power clam very quickly. Roundy's going to hold it. Looks like they're going to try and force it in through the grates. 1 goes in, and Bomb's coming out now to get a pick. 2 down on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table versus 1 down on the side of Cascade Duck Crew, and it very quickly goes to 2-3 advantage going into Cascade Duck Crew, so they will be able to get to mid, but a plus 68, not bad for a first push. I mean, you would like to see more, but considering how quickly they threw that together, very good.
Yeah, it was a push that was done very, very quickly, and like you said, they probably wish they would have had more, but kind of this early in the map, when you already don't have a lot of map control, it can be difficult to position yourselves. But right now, it looks like a few players from Roundy Table going to be going down, and Cascade Duck Crew going to be taking quick work of this and taking advantage of the player advantage as they're trying to push through on this right side, getting some more map control. They only have 11 clams at their ready. No power clam. Well, they do have the pity clam, but no power clam on the field that is formed right now. And they're just trying to win these 1v1s, and it looks like both of these teams are kind of trading. We saw 2v2 happen. But Cascade Duck Crew, if they can play the long game and take it slow and steady, they can get a push stronger than 68 and get the lead and potentially hold Knights of the Roundy Table for the match.
For sure, but that jump is going to be very dead in the water. They do manage to get a power clam in, but there's 3 down. They're going to come with that bomber. So great for offense here as well as defense. But a push to 80, not what you want to see. That is a free power clam on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table.
Yeah, so a quick wipe there. I mean, honestly, that's probably a win for Knights of the Roundy Table, just allowing only one power claim to score, as then you're able to get some more map control. So again, if these teams just do this back and forth, it really just comes down to whichever team makes the bigger, stronger push at any moment. And right now, Knights of the Roundy Table trying to make that happen, but not having the players to support is going to make it hard, because Cascade Duck Crew doing quick work. They're making Roundy retreat, go back to the basket, and making them scramble.
Yeah, Arch jumped in, managed to get a pick off of that jump in, which was pretty good considering that he had 3 people shooting at him. And it looks like Midvo is going to be right now strongly in the hands of Cascade Duck Crew. Armor coming out from Knights of the Roundy Table to try and get the pick. Uton's going to lose his armor. Bubbles coming out from Koji to see if they can force somebody to go in. The ball point going down, 2 going down on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table. Koji's going to go up with the snipe, 3 down now, making a full wipe on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table. So this is going to be a very, very big push. Uton's got all his plans in. Koji's up on the Grace, has plans of don't look like he's going to opt to try and get picked as the members of Roundy Table coming back in, though, which is smart. Already down to 34 points remaining. 1 down now on the side of Cascade Duck Crew. More plans coming in. The Bombers coming in, which is great for offense, but the ball point takes them off thanks to that incredible range. Koji is the last alive, but a push to 25. Very, very good.
What I liked about this push was the clam management from Cascade Duck Crew. They had an opportunity where they could have thrown a lot of clams in at once, but hey, you want to keep that basket open as long as possible. You want to make Knights of the Roundy Table struggle. You want to make sure that they have to be on edge the entire time. So having that get all the way to 25 was nice, but Knights of the Roundy Table going to have a push of their own. Will this be enough? Will this get them past 25? Because Cascade Duck Crew, they are trying to push in and spot some of these members. It doesn't look like Knights of the Roundy Table are in a good position to score, but Archer trying to get closer to this basket, able to keep it alive, but they are the only ones alive right now, but they are up top, they are unspotted, they just need one more claim to get the lead, and there's a power claim below, but unfortunately they couldn't get it.
Yeah, that was a risky play there. Almost paid off, and now Knights of the Roundy Table have 30 seconds to make a power clam because that clam that died right below the basket, that was their pity. They don't have a power clam, and they do have 8 clams in the hands of their members. Make that 4 now. Archer's going to pick a whole bunch up. 2 down on each side of the field. 3 down on the side of Knights of the Roundy Table. It's just Bishop alive. Bishop really needs to try and get 4 clams somewhere. Only finds 1. Can they find another one? They're going for it. They're going for it. Can they get it? Can they get it? No, they cannot.
They cannot find it. So with the 1 point, Cascade Duck Crew is going to be getting the win. And we are going to a Game 3 for the second time in Set 2 of SuperJump 2.
Yeah. You just love to see it, though.
Some lovely KAs there for the side of Cascade Duck Crew. 3 members in the triple digits. So just having that prolonged basket is, I think, what's so important. And that's exactly what we saw from them. We saw that they were able to get themselves in a position. They were able to throw a few claims in. Okay, I have to stop throwing claims in. I need to get these picks. You know, I would rather risk myself, expose myself to try and get this pick and maybe sacrifice a claim or 2 so I could potentially pay off and get 5 or 6 more in. And just having that basket open for 30, 40 seconds, that's what makes the other team scramble. That's what makes them on edge and sweat some more, because when you're the losing team, when your enemy basket is open, it is open for an eternity. It is much longer than it appears so.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But Knights of the Roundy Table almost brought it back.
They were very, very close, tying up there to 25, and you know, if you're the losing team and you tie, you get 1 extra point on you, because Claim Blitz, you know, fortunately can't end in a tie. But we are going to be moving on to Splat Zones on the Reef. So, seeing Splat Zones for the first time this set, and I mean, this is one of the split zone stages I don't mind as much. It's all about controlling bridge and making sure that you can locate players on any sides, because you get a really good view from up there. You can see who's coming from any direction. So that might be a good opportunity for the shot caller to assist their teammates.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's also very good for weapons that you can dump ink over the side there easily, like the blaster, like the slosher, that Knights of the Roundy table are running. I don't expect them to really change their comp, and they are not, aside from Roundy dropping Junior, picking up the Zap. Meanwhile, on the side of Cascade Duck Crew, they're not making any swaps, so pretty much the same comp from both teams. And this is going to be fun. You can see that the ballpoint is trying to get set up overlooking the enemy tree, which is a nice place for backlines to hang out. Archer's going to come in down that slope with that try. First cap is going to go to Cascade Duck Crew, and Archer is quickly finding themselves in I think it's all 4 of them. So yeah, ballpoint quickly being the only one alive, but they're in a decent spot right now. They're pretty well protected. Jumping out just before that bomb explodes to get a surefire splat on them, but that was effectively a wipe for the side of Knights of the Roundy table, and 3 specials at the ready on the side of Cascade Duck Crew. It's going to be hard for them to push back in.
It certainly is, and I mean, Cascade Duck Crew put themselves in a very good position, taking control of the zones and the bridge to 3v3 now, and it looks like the ballpoint's trying to push up by this tree. They are able to get 2 picks, but they're going to need to capitalize this zone. But they're going to have a few players go down, so maybe not quite the push that they wanted to get, but they are going to get the zone, giving 39 penalty points to Knights of the Roundy, or to Cascade Duck Crew. But Cascade Duck Crew quick to cap the zone once again. And now the Blaster spotting the ballpoint, a very nice pick by them as Cascade Duck Crew putting themselves once again in a very good position and getting a lot of map control.
Yeah, so very much map control for Cascade Duck Crew. Uton's going to come way up into the street trying to get a pick. Looks like Archer does manage to fall. Missiles coming out, so that will snip out any potential flanks coming out from Knights of the Roundy table. The Grim is down, and the penalty points are gone. Uton's going to fall, but it's a 2 down on the side of Knights of the Roundy table. Rain coming out from the ballpoint, which is not as effective as it could be on this stage because of the fact the zones are underneath that bridge. And Cascade Duck Crew quickly looking like they are going to get a lockout position. Ballpoint looks like the Blaster picking off that bomb rush, which is very crucial. And 2 down on the side of Knights of the Roundy table. Archer's going to see if they can get a pick and see if they can get a hero play. And they're just barely holding on, not able to find it though. So once again, we see a reverse sweep. Quacks in the chat, everyone, for Cascade Duck Crew.
Cascade Duck Crew, a very different game than what we saw in games 1 and 2, and very, very close for Archer for trying to, like you said, get that solo cap. It can be very hard, especially when you can't leave the zone. That's a situation where if you retreat just for a little bit, they're going to cap. You have to stay there. You have to keep painting the zone. Try and get some picks when you can. So you're just hoping that some of the players from Knights of the Roundy table are just standing in the zone, and honestly, that wasn't really the case. So Cascade Duck Crew getting that win. That's going to be their 2nd set win, and they're going to be moving up to 2-0 in the pools. Knights of the Roundy table going to be dropping to 1-1.
Yeah, so it's looking like they're probably the team to beat in the pools.
Yeah, they're putting themselves in a very good position. You know, we can see that even I'd say like the strongest contender in this pool is Kings. But as far as the teams that we've seen so far, yeah, they're going to be putting themselves in a very good position as we will be moving on to round 3 very shortly.
Yeah, Kings, as you mentioned before, very strong contender. If my memory serves correctly, they are actually the champions from last SuperJump, way back in the old 2021. So they're definitely going to keep an eye on other strong teams in the pool as well. This is definitely the wave that has a lot of the stronger teams, because I think a lot of them wanted to wake up early and see if maybe they can play this and then possibly play in the Nintendo tournament later.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And even though it's early for a lot of these teams, the teams who are playing in Pool A, we know a few of them are playing in the Nintendo tournament because that started yesterday, and Top 16 is starting later today. So a lot of Splatoon action for a few of these players this weekend. We know it's bright and early for a lot of these players too, especially those on the Western North America side. So, you know, hey, you can't get enough Splatoon, though, especially with the hype of Splatoon 3 just knocking on the door.
Which is only 48 days away, mind you. Which also means this time 48 days. Yeah, one of my teammates is doing a countdown in their name in our team server, and it's currently 48 days until happiness, otherwise known as 48 days until Splatoon 3 launches.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sneaking up on us, and I always love all the little teasers that we've gotten to see on Twitter, such as the in-game icon, I believe. You know, that was something that was circulating on Twitter, and just everything that the Nintendo or the Splatoon North America account tweets, and we get to see all of the lovely information about all these weapons, a lot of weapons that we see currently in Splatoon 2, but even kind of the new art styles and just some really fun art, and it always makes us very excited to see what's going to be different about the game, what's going to be the same about the game, and like you said, I know that I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, 48 days till happiness, 48 days till Splatoon 3 launches, and like we mentioned earlier, 48 days until Riptide, which is a land that's happening September 9th through the 11th at the Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio. Most people here are probably going to go to play Splatoon or watch Splatoon, but you can also watch Smash, Rivals, and other games. And then if you are going to be